With almost 260 holidays a year, LGBTQ have a lot to remember, so we've compiled a list. Welcome everyone to Powered by Rainbows. I am of course your host, Professor Pride, and it feels amazing to be back in the studio for the official start of Season 4 of our show. This year we have so many amazing episodes planned, and we'll be broadcasting episodes every single week, all year long. Sometimes even 2 or 3 times a week, and other times 7 days a week. Most episodes will be from right here in the brand new MHP TV studios. But some will be broadcasted from on the road at Pride festivals, a trip to Stonewall Inn in New York City, and more. So be sure you're subscribed and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on new episodes of the show. Also, please consider becoming a member of the channel to see exclusive behind-the-scenes content and help support our very expensive and amazing Season 4. Anyway, on to the show. The LGBTQ community has a lot to remember when you start looking at the 95 pride flags, which we've covered in a previous episode, the 130 color combinations of the gay handkerchief code, which you can find a cheat sheet on our Pride Academy website, linked down below, and more. So when it comes to holidays, you just know our community has a lot to celebrate. And while new holidays are added every single year around the world, here is a complete list of the main 259 LGBTQ holidays, so you can be sure to mark your calendars now and celebrate them when they come up throughout the year. So let's get started. Listed in chronological order and beginning on February 1st, it's the United Kingdom's LGBTQ History Month. Started in 2005 and founded by Schools Out UK, which is an LGBTQ education charity. This holiday lasts all February long, every year, and celebrates the history of the LGBTQ community. Next, on February 7th is National Black HIV and AIDS Awareness Day. This holiday is observed in the United States, highlighting the continuing disproportionate impact of HIV infection and AIDS on Black and African American populations in the country. Next is Aromantic Spectrum Awareness Week, which is observed during the first full week after February 14th each year. During the current year of 2021, this holiday will take place from February 21st through February 27th. Started in 2014, this week is to promote the information and awareness about aromantic spectrum identities. On March 1st, the United States begins celebrating Bisexual Health Awareness Month. Started in 2014, this month is dedicated to raising awareness about the bisexual community's social, economic, and health disparities. It is also to advocate for resources and inspire actions to improve bi people's lives. If you want to join the celebration, you can use the hashtag BiHealthMonth on social media. On the same day of March 1st, you can also celebrate International Zero Discrimination Day. Beginning on March 1st of 2014, the United Nations designated this day to promoting equality before the law, and in practice throughout all of the member countries of the United Nations. We celebrate this day not only in our community, but by calling upon our lawmakers in all countries of the world to end discrimination against the LGBTQ community. Next up is a holiday in Australia called the Mardi Gras Parade. It occurs on the first Saturday of March every year, and is a day within the annual Mardi Gras festival, which features an LGBTQ pride parade. This commemorates the first rally in 1978, where numerous participants were arrested by the police. In the parade, you'll see tons of floats and marching groups promoting LGBTQ rights, issues, and themes. This year in 2021, the national holiday will be held on March 6th. Next on our list is on March 23rd, when we celebrate International Puppy Day. While this holiday is mostly made for pet owners to celebrate their canine friends, this day has also carried over into the pup tribe and furry communities for us to celebrate our pride as well. And if you want more info on the pup tribe or furries, check out the links below to our episodes covering the tribe, and a great documentary by Ash Coyote on the furry fandom. Moving on to March 31st, the next holiday on our calendar is the International Trans Day of Visibility. Started in 2009, this holiday is to celebrate the trans community in a positive light, celebrating their lives and cultural achievements. It was founded by transgender activist Rachel Crandell, who is the head of Transgender Michigan, as a reaction to the lack of a day celebrating trans people. Next, on April 1st, the world begins observing STD Awareness Month, which lasts all April long. This holiday is to bring awareness to sexually transmitted infections, and to hopefully get more people to go for regular testing for those infections if they are sexually active. Moving on to the United States, New Zealand, and Singapore, where we celebrate the National Day of Silence during the second Friday of April. This year, the Day of Silence will be held on April 9th, 2021. This holiday was founded in 1996 and is a student-oriented day to end the silencing effect of anti-LGBTQ bias in schools across the country. It was initially led by then-student Maria Polzetti at the University of Virginia, but it is currently organized by the Gay, Lesbian, and Straight Education Network, otherwise known as GLESN. Next, on April 10th, the United States observes National Youth HIV and AIDS Awareness Day. This day is set aside to educate the youth community on HIV and AIDS, since this is the first generation to grow up having never lived in a world where the two didn't exist, and an alarming number of youth now suffer from HIV and AIDS. Next on the calendar is the National Transgender HIV Testing Day, which is observed on April 18th every year. This holiday is to bring awareness to the transgender community about HIV and hopefully get more trans people to go for STI testing if they are sexually active. Skipping ahead now to April 26th, it's the International Lesbian Visibility Day. This holiday was started in 2008 and is held on the same day every year to celebrate, recognize, and bring visibility to the lesbian community. Moving on to the next holiday, we celebrate International Family Equality Day on the first Sunday of May each year. Started in 2012, this holiday is to celebrate the diversity of families globally, and the Council of Europe even recognizes it as an important tool to combat homophobia and transphobia, as well as to promote a tolerant and cohesive society. This year, it will be observed worldwide on May 3rd. Next on our list is the International Day Against Homophobia, Transphobia, and Biphobia. It was started in 2005 and is celebrated each year on May 17th. The main purpose of it is to raise awareness to the violence, discrimination, abuse, and repression the LGBTQ community has worldwide. The very next day, we celebrate HIV Vaccine Awareness Day on May 18th. This day is organized by the HIV advocates to promote the continued urgent need for a vaccine for HIV infection and AIDS. The next day after this, on May 19th, we celebrate 3 more holidays, including Hepatitis Testing Day and the National Asian and Pacific Islanders HIV and AIDS Awareness Day. Both of these holidays are to promote the testing for sexually transmitted infections. And finally, on May 19th, we also celebrate AGENDER Pride Day, which is celebrated internationally to promote the awareness of agender individuals. Moving on now to May 22nd, we celebrate 2 more holidays in 2 different countries. First, in Ireland and internationally, we celebrate Irish Marriage Referendum Day. In 2015, Ireland became the first country in the world to allow LGBTQ people to legally marry. In the country of Ireland, this is a monumental day, but the rest of the world also observes this day because there are other countries around the world which have yet to allow love to be love. And secondly, we celebrate Harvey Milk Day here in America. Started in 2010, this holiday is to celebrate the life and honor Harvey Milk, who was an assassinated politician and gay rights activist. He was the first openly gay person elected into state office. It is observed on Harvey Milk's birthday to not just teach about his life's work, but to end discrimination against gay and lesbian people everywhere. Next on our list is the Pansexual and Panromantic Awareness Day, held annually on May 24th. This holiday is to promote the awareness of and celebrate pansexual and panromantic identities. By the way, pansexual means you can love someone regardless of gender. And now we move on to the biggest month of the year for our community. On June 1st, the world begins celebrating International LGBTQ Pride Month all June long. It is an entire month dedicated to celebrating who we are and who we love. This month is dedicated to promoting LGBTQ education and ending discrimination against our community. It was started in the United States by a man named Craig Rodwell and a woman named Ellen Brody to honor the 1969 Stonewall Rebellion. The first Pride ever was called the Christopher Street Gay Liberation Day in 1970. But to learn more about that, you can check out our episode covering Craig Rodwell, linked down below. Next up, on June 5th, we celebrate the HIV Long-Term Survivors Awareness Day in the United States, which celebrates those who live with HIV and have survived a number of years. Many people back in the day sadly passed away from AIDS and HIV-related causes, including some of my family members. But on this day, we celebrate those who survived. A few days later, on June 12th, we observe the holiday called the Pulse Night of Remembrance. On June 12, 2016, a terrorist entered the Pulse nightclub in Orlando, Florida, and continued to murder 49 innocent people. The Pulse nightclub was one of the most popular gay and trans nightclubs in the country, and the attack was since designated as the deadliest attack against LGBTQ people on American soil. To find more info on this event, and to join us in remembering the 49 victims, you can watch our annual Pulse Nightclub Vigil, linked in the description. Skipping ahead to June 26th, the United States celebrates Marriage Equality Day, which is the day back in 2015 when LGBTQ marriage equality became the national law of the land. The very next day, on June 27th, we celebrate National HIV Testing Day, to bring awareness to HIV and to hopefully have sexually active people go to be tested on a regular basis. And on the day following that, we celebrate the Stonewall Riots anniversary on June 28th. The riots happened in New York City after gay and transgender people were being arrested just for being LGBTQ. Our community stood up against the police and started fighting back, luckily, leading to every element of LGBTQ progress in the past 50 years. To learn more about the Stonewall Riots, you can check out our episode on it using the link down below. Next on our calendar is Non-Binary Awareness Week, which is celebrated during the full week, Sunday through Saturday, surrounding July 14th. It was started in 2020 as a week dedicated to those who don't fit within the traditional gender binary. To join in the celebration, you can use the handle @NBWeek on Twitter. This year, it will be celebrated from July 11th through the 17th. And you might ask yourself why Non-Binary Week is held during the week surrounding July 14th. But hopefully this next holiday will answer your question. Because on July 14th, we celebrate Non-Binary Peoples Day. This holiday was started in 2012 and is an annual day to celebrate and bring visibility to people who are non-binary. And if you're wondering why they chose July 14th, well, it's because it's the exact midpoint between International Women's Day on March 8th and International Men's Day on November 19th, which is very clever of them. Next up, on July 16th, we celebrate International Drag Day. This holiday is to celebrate and recognize the drag arts all around the world. It was started in 2009 by Adam Stewart through his Facebook fan page for drag queens and kings. Skipping ahead now to August 26th, we celebrate International Dog Day. Very similar to International Puppy Day on March 23rd, the pup tribe and furry communities also celebrate and bark at this huge day as well. Next up, on the final Friday of August, we celebrate Wear It Purple Day in Australia. Started in 2010, this holiday is to foster supportive, safe, empowering, and inclusive environments for rainbow young people. On this day, LGBTQ people all wear purple to raise awareness for the need of LGBTQ education and to bring awareness to our community. This year it will be held on August 27th. Comparable days exist in other countries, including the Netherlands with Purple Friday and the United States with Spirit Day, both of which are included later in this list. Next on the calendar is Bisexual Awareness Week, which begins on September 16th and ends on September 23rd every year. This holiday is to raise awareness of the bisexual community and to end double discrimination they face from both external homophobes and gay people. This holiday ends on September 23rd, which is also the annual International Celebrate Bisexuality Day. This holiday is also referred to as Bisexual Pride Day, CBD for short, Bisexual Pride, and Bi-Visibility Day. Moving on now to the National Gay Men's HIV and AIDS Awareness Day on September 27th. This holiday is similar to many others on this list, where it promotes the need for gay men to get tested on a regular basis for HIV and AIDS if they are sexually active. The next holiday on our list begins on October 1st and lasts all October long every year. It's the LGBTQ History Month observed in the United States, Australia, and Canada. Similar to the United Kingdom's LGBTQ History Month in February, this month is dedicated to the education of LGBTQ history, and if you want daily videos teaching you 31 LGBTQ history facts each year, you can check out our LGBTQ History Month playlist linked down below, and join us every day of every October to learn something new about our history every single day. Next up is International Lesbian Day, held annually on October 8th. This holiday was started in 1980 in New Zealand, grew to Australia in 1990, and now is celebrated worldwide. It's an annual day celebrating lesbian culture and to show how many lesbians exist in our society. The next day, on October 9th, we celebrate International Queer Day, and this holiday is dedicated to breaking the normal cisgender, straight and pure binary world we live in, where everyone is supposed to checkmark a box and be happy even though our bodies aren't made that way, and it's in our DNA that we are made lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, non-binary, intersex, agender, asexual, and so on. Next is one of the biggest holidays of the year for our community, which is held annually on October 11th, and is called the National Coming Out Day. It's a holiday celebrated by members of our community who are out of the closet, and we celebrate this day by making videos, spreading awareness, and helping those of our community who are still in the closet. With this holiday, it's important to remember that you can be out of the closet to yourself in the mirror, but it may not be safe for you at the moment to come out to homophobic or transphobic loved ones, if ever. So this holiday isn't about trying to force members of our community to come out, but rather it's about helping those who are in the closet just know they aren't alone in there. Next, on October 15th, we celebrate National Latino HIV and AIDS Awareness Day, which again is very similar to other HIV and AIDS awareness days on this list, but is specific to the Latino community. Skipping to October 19th, the United States celebrates National LGBTQ Center Awareness Day, where we celebrate the work of LGBTQ rights organizations and centers across the country and around the world. Next on our calendar is International Pronouns Day, which is celebrated on the third Wednesday of October. This year it will be celebrated on October 20th. The holiday was started in 2018, and it's an annual event that seeks to make sharing, respecting, and educating the world about personal pronouns commonplace. And just as a reminder, while these aren't all of the pronouns someone can be asked to be addressed by, here is a short list of the most popular ones. And just as a quick reminder, it is never, ever a bad thing to ask someone which pronouns they prefer to be addressed by. For example, my pronouns are he, him, and his. Moving on to the third Thursday of October, we celebrate Spirit Day in the United States. This year it will be celebrated on October 21st, but this holiday is very similar to Wear It Purple Day in Australia, which we have already covered on this list. Next up is Asexual Awareness Week, which is held annually during the last full week in October. It was started in 2010 to promote the awareness of those on the asexual spectrum and was founded by Sarah Beth Brooks. This year it will be held from October 24th to October 30th, 2021. Next is International Intersex Awareness Day, which is held annually on October 26th. It was started in 1996 and is observed in October to commemorate the first intersex protest, which took place in Boston, Massachusetts. Starting on November 1st and celebrated all November long, we observe International Transgender Awareness Month. This month is dedicated to celebrating transgender and gender nonconforming communities and to raise awareness for the community through education and advocacy activities. A few days into Trans Awareness Month, we celebrate Trans Parent Day during the first Sunday in November. This holiday was started in 2009 to celebrate the life and the love between transgender parents and their children, and between parents and their transgender children. You might ask why we need a day to celebrate this, but after 4 seasons of this TV show, I've come to read countless stories of parents not accepting their transgender children. So just trust me here when I say that whenever parents accept their children for their true gender identity, it needs to be celebrated. Next on our list is International Intersex Day of Remembrance, which is held annually on November 8th. It was started in 2005 as a day designated to raise awareness of the issues faced by intersex people. It marks the birthday of Herculine Barbin, who was a French intersex person. A few days later, on November 13th through the 19th, we celebrate Trans Awareness Week. This entire week is dedicated to educating about transgender and gender nonconforming people and the issues associated with their transition and their identities. And if you're looking for some education on the trans community, we have an entire episode called The Science of Being Trans, linked down below, and we'll be doing some interviews with trans and gender nonconforming people later this season. At the end of Trans Awareness Week, we celebrate Transgender Day of Remembrance on November 20th every year. This holiday was started in 1999 to memorialize those who have been murdered as a result of transphobia. Sadly, last year alone in 2020, at least 43 beautiful souls were taken from this life by the fault of transphobia. Skipping ahead to December 1st, we celebrate World AIDS Day. This holiday was started in 1988 by the United Nations to raise awareness across the world and in the LGBTQ community about HIV and AIDS. It is also a day for our community to show their support for people living with HIV and to commemorate people who have died of AIDS-related conditions or other conditions associated with HIV. Next up, on December 8th, our community celebrates Pansexual and Panromantic Pride Day. It's a holiday to celebrate the pan community, to raise awareness and to educate others on what being pansexual and panromantic means. Moving on now to Purple Friday, which is celebrated on the second Friday of December. Purple Friday was first celebrated in the Netherlands and now is celebrated worldwide. It was started in 2010 by a Netherlands-based LGBTQ organization called COC. This holiday is aimed at reducing bullying and increasing inclusivity in schools. It uses a purple theme in which people are encouraged to wear purple clothes. The Gender Sexuality Alliance Network quickly picked it up internationally, with similar holidays such as Spirit Day in the United States and Wear It Purple Day in Australia. This year it will be celebrated on December 10th, 2021. And finally, on our calendar of LGBTQ holidays around the world, we celebrate Human Rights Day on December 10th. This holiday was adopted by the United Nations General Assembly in 1948 and was included in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, otherwise known as UDHR. This milestone document proclaims the inalienable rights which everyone is entitled to as a human being, regardless of race, color, religion, sex, language, political or other opinion, national or social origin, property, birth, or other status. It's a day that calls upon our governments of the world to treat everyone equal in the eyes of the law. Anyway, that's all for our episode today, and thank you so much for watching. As always, if you like our content and want to support more LGBTQ education in the future, please consider checking out our merchandise store or becoming a member. Don't forget to like this video, comment down below your LGBTQ-friendly thoughts, hit that rainbow subscribe button so you don't miss out on new episodes of the show, and share this video with others. I'm your host, Matt Haslam. This has been PBR. Have a gay day, everyone, and bye for now. Still not enough rainbows? Click here to see more weekly episodes of Powered by Rainbows, Semester 4, only on MHP TV.